So while that happened, again now also there's the whole issue of how women were also taught how to live their lives in terms of money and the horrible relationship that women have with money, where it's allow your husband to lead even when it comes to conversations of finances, land, and all of that. Yeah. And after Dad passed on, seeing how blurry it was for my mom and all the mistakes that we were able to do, and I say we because I was of legal age, and she would talk to me about the decisions that she's trying to make. And because I did not have any knowledge, I was not able to advise. And so this is even why this is so important to me, that as much as people would say you're too young to understand about land, or you're too young to that's probably the reason why land is not a consideration in terms of an investment option. I wish I had the knowledge.
Even you're too young to afford
land, right? Yeah. I wish I had the knowledge to be able to assist, you know? Yeah. And even looking forward, if I am to get married and you end up probably 60 years down the line and it's now just you and the children, you're not misusing now all the land that your husband was able to accumulate with yourself. It's You're able to manage that properly, and even when he's making decisions, I'm able to be in that room and say, but how does this and that go? Because I believe you're your biggest asset.
True, yeah.
You're the biggest investment asset you could ever have. And if you don't invest in what's here, as much as you have money, you will throw away that money or you will invest it in the wrong places and it will never work for you. Yeah.
How did you go about doing that?
Doing what?
Investing in yourself.
With having conversations, being intentional about bringing in people like Richie into my life and hanging around them, and Polly, and different people that I work with, and asking them difficult questions, because also a lot of people will assume that, there's a false sense of importance. And nowadays, young people really don't want to ask questions because they feel like probably wanajua sana, or they don't want to be seen as if they don't know, because the society probably expects them to have their stuff together. Yeah. But I am very open when it comes to, I don't understand what this means. What does that mean? Yeah. Or if somebody uses a big corporate jargon, and I'm just like, excuse me, what does that mean?
And where do you think that comes from? Do you think? So because I picked up earlier, you mentioned that school sort of got interrupted because of Dad passing on. Yeah. It was just you and trying to help your mom, get things stable. Yeah. Do you think that had anything to do with your attitudes today around being coachable or admitting that you don't know? Where do you think that comes from?
So I grew up in Thika. Yeah. So I came to Nairobi to study for school. But along the lines, that was not able to end because now I needed to find a job to be able to sustain myself in school. So even up to now, the journey of, finally finishing my degree is still ongoing. Like people ask me, so what are you?
You haven't finished yet?
I haven't finished.
Okay, where are you going to school?
Daystar.
Wow.
Daystar, yeah.
Don't worry, I'm a college dropout as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're a lot further along than I ever got.
So I think I'm in third year. Yeah. I really think, guys ask me, so when are you going to finish? I'm like, I don't know. All I know is I will finish, but it's not a priority. Yeah. Because what is the sense of me trying to finish school, to stay 2 years jobless? Because that's the reality that's happening right now. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you still need to find money to pay for that tuition. Right. It's ridiculous, As in, I was even asking myself, why did I tell my parents to take me to Daystar? It's so bloody expensive.
I know, and it's far.
Singenda UN, like somewhere even I could have been. Now I can't afford, right. Yeah. And if you can, it's probably like a semester a year because it's over 130%. It's insane. But now demystifying in the sense where now I was able to kind of start looking for opportunities while I was still in school.
Okay.
So I kind of dabbled in everything, tried emceeing at some point, because I had to ask myself the question of what do I have here that I can use for now?
Yeah.
I'm good at talking. When I was in high school, guys used to say I'm a really good MC. Let's try that. So I would DM guys. First gig, I did a couple of free gigs. Then first gig, I was paid 5K. Oh my God, best day of my life.
5K.
5K, best day of my life. And that 5K, I remember I went and bought a pair of shoes. And I remember feeling how sweet it was to spend my own money and not being asked, where did you use that 1,000?
Right.
And from that day, I never looked back. I was like, this is it.
Okay.
So, got my first job at 20, my first corporate job at 21.
Yeah.
So before that, it was just gigs from 18 to now 21. First got my first corporate job at 21. Then now it's been uphill from there.
Okay.
But also acknowledging the fact that a lot of people my age right now have just finished uni and starting their first job, if not their first internship.
Okay.
But also, there's a very, very rising percentage of young people now who understood that you don't have to wait to finish uni to start making money. And that's where the digital space comes in.
Of course, yeah.
The digital space created so many job opportunities for a lot of young people, where you're finding a brand like Safaricom or Diageo paying, let me not use Diageo, but let's say Safaricom, because they can work with anyone below the age of 25,
Right.
100,000 for 3 Instagram posts. What do you do with that money?
What? For
Yeah.
3 posts? Sheesh. Okay.
Guys are this. I have had friends who've left their corporate jobs because one influencing gig pays them more than their monthly salary, and this is somebody who's in management.
Wow. Okay.
So imagine if you had 3 constant corporate companies paying you for influencing every month for the whole year, and each of them is 100,000.
That's decent income for sure.
You're
That's
easily
amazing.
making 300K per month to sit in your house.
Right.
No transport to go to the office every day. You don't have to think about lunch. You don't have to deal with a stressful boss. You don't have to you start getting anxiety because of reports. But you're creating and you're putting out content. Expressing
yourself and having fun. Having fun while doing it.
On the same breath, You're also supposed to sustain the lifestyle that you're showing guys on social. So where is that money going? Okay. So you'll find, because we're so scared, a good point, you know, we're so scared about finances, not finances, but land. Where now, remember there's a time there was a huge purge of companies that were coming up, selling land?
Yes.
The properties.
Yes.
There's a time there were so many.
Yes.
So I feel like we're part of the very big generation that was very scared to seeing our parents being swindled by those companies. I'm a very good example.